The Buffalo Bills have officially hired an ex-NFL referee of 20 years to come in and help out with game time situations, also clock management, and so much more. John Parry was recently interviewed about this officiating liaison position, and you can clearly see here exactly what he is going to bring to the Buffalo Bills. John Parry said officials look at the game so differently than players, coaches, and fans. So to have somebody up in the booth, this is the mechanic. This is why that person made that call. And no matter what happens to the replay, if they flip it, here's where the ball will be spotted. Here's the down and distance. The clock's going to start and they're ready for play, or it's a 10-second runoff. So you could take a timeout. So you could better start thinking about that and which one will you take, which one won't you take. And John Parry went on to say that there's so much that goes on a play-to-play basis, and there's so much on the shoulders of the coaches as it pertains specifically to the replay, because it's grown so much and it's so complicated. It's so hard to keep all of the data straight. I think there's value to having, obviously, if you're working for a team and you want to win, but your job is to ensure that they have all the data that they can make to make the appropriate decision, or to the decision that they actually want. John Parry has spent ample amount of time in the NFL as an NFL ref, actually 19 years as an NFL official, including his final 12 as a referee before retiring after working in his third Super Bowl to close the 2018 season. He then spent the next 5 years serving as a rules analyst for ESPN. Parry fills a first-time role for the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott, who is entering his 8th season as Buffalo Bills head coach. Sean McDermott was only successful on 3 of 6 challenges made last season and has caught a lot of flack from fans and other people across the NFL that he's made some poor clock management situations, has made some mistakes dealing with just the overall management of the game during games. And also, you can kind of compare it to a coach like Andy Reid. By comparison, last year hit 4 of 5 challenges and is 72 out of 143 overall. Sean McDermott in his career is 10 of 33. So it's clear that Sean McDermott, clearly only an 8-year head coach in the NFL, may be lacking that overall experience when it comes down to clock management and other game time situations. Sean McDermott is definitely going to benefit from having an NFL referee of 20 years come to the Buffalo Bills to be that extra set of eyes in the booth. As mentioned, John Parry was a data analyst for officiating at ESPN, and you could see that he is officially leaving the network to join the Buffalo Bills in a new role of this officiating liaison for Bills Mafia. And ultimately, what he's going to do is bring in extra guidance to consult the team and offer a perspective from the referee, and just overall help this team make decisions and decide when to review during games. And he's also going to assist with rule interpretations during the game to help guide Sean McDermott even further. Clearly, John Parry is going to know some loopholes. He's going to know some things from the referee standpoint that the Bills could maybe potentially exploit or use to their advantage. Obviously, a guy like Bill Belichick, and knowing the ins and outs of the game, always exploiting things, always finding the loopholes within the game. And I don't know how much time Sean McDermott ultimately has to find those loopholes, especially when he's coaching up this defense, making all the defensive calls last year. I think this is definitely going to help things out for Bills Mafia in 2024. Having a person like John Parry on the Buffalo Bills is also going to allow Sean McDermott and the Bills to make the best decision available before they ultimately have to make a decision. Sometimes a replay is happening and there's trying to discuss things of what will be best. They don't ultimately know what will happen if it does get overturned or if it does stay the same. How much time is going to be left on the play clock? Where's the ball going to be spotted? There's just so many many things that you ultimately don't know unless you are an NFL referee. Seeing it from the ref's perspective as to why something was called, and just having that explanation, an extra set of eyes on the sidelines, having the eyes understand, hey, look, there is a great potential that this could get overturned because of this, and then we throw the challenge flag instead of just throwing the challenge flag and hoping for the best. I think John Parry is definitely going to help us in that department. It's going to help us save timeouts and just help Sean McDermott do better in overall game management and, throwing the red flag out there. But you could also see here that John Parry, obviously the Bills went 3 of 6, only a 50% win rate in the challenges last year in 2023. Since 2017, I already mentioned, 10 calls have only been overturned and 23 have been upheld. He's 10 of 33, Sean McDermott. But John Parry said most teams have a guy that specializes in replay game management or clock management, but the officiating lens is totally different than the coach's perspective, Parry said. And I think the Bills specifically recognize that replay is here to stay. It's only going to grow. We potentially should have somebody that's done it, that's seen it, and can look under that hood. So I really believe John Parry is going to be a huge factor for the Buffalo Bills in 2024, in addition to all the new players that we have brought in here via free agency, via the NFL draft, and now additional coaches too as well. Can't forget about that. And now an official NFL referee coming in here to help out Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills in an area where a lot of fans and people have gotten on Sean McDermott in the past. Just like 13 seconds, just like some of the mishaps that we've had, including the Eagles game and certain downs and distances and whether we should use a timeout or not use a timeout, not actually understanding what to do in certain situations, mainly because we put so much on the plate of our coaches and players and staff to really focus on other things. But now the Bills bring in an NFL referee of 20 years that has been a ref for multiple Super Bowls, that has seen it in the lens of a referee, has worked at ESPN, has seen it from a little bit of an outside perspective as to how fans could see it, right? I think John Parry is going to come to the Buffalo Bills, offer so much behind the scenes that we're probably going to forget about as fans. But each and every single play call, down in distances, whether we should challenge, whether we shouldn't challenge, all these things are contributing factors to winning a football game. Yes, you could have all the talent in the world. Yes, you can call the best play. You could really, change your game plan, right, during the game. All the things, all the strategies that coaches implement during the game to prepare to win that game. But at the end of the day, we always talk about fighting those zebras. It's not only beating the opponent, it's also not beating yourselves and also winning the officiating crew and not getting calls, not having penalties. That is a huge factor that the Bills really need and should be focusing in on. And clearly they have done that with John Parry being hired to the Buffalo Bills. Yes, maybe John Parry's there during practice and he's like, hey, look, Spencer Brown, they're going to call you 9 times out of 10 on holding if you do that. Deion Dawkins, you're going to get called for that 9 times out of 10 if you do that. Or whoever it is on this team, John Parry's going to be seeing this team through the lens of a real NFL referee, and he's going to allow this team to lower the amount of total penalties. He's going to have Sean McDermott's challenge percentage clearly increase, having a dedicated person strictly focused in on what he does best in the officiating department of the NFL. He's going to also bring insight to the Buffalo Bills, potential loopholes, different things that we could try to exploit and scheme up against opposing teams, because he knows how the officiating crew is going to see it and ultimately help things out for Bills Mafia in the 2024 Buffalo Bills. But I appreciate you guys all so much, and I want to hear from you. Drop your comments down below. How big of a news story is this that the Bills bring in a 20-year NFL referee to help things out with Sean McDermott. He's going to be that extra set of eyes in the booth. He's going to help out this entire team on game days, during the week, during practice. I think this is absolutely huge. Another official signing here by Brandon Beane and Terry Pegula and Bills Mafia, just finding every single avenue to make this team better. And there's no doubt in my mind that the Buffalo Bills are pulling out all the stops to be the best versions of themselves in 2024. But I appreciate you guys all so much. Make sure you hit like, subscribe to the channel if you want to continue to support me and my efforts for making videos just like this. Also, check the link in the description to the Buffalo Bills chicken wing merch. We have the BNC logo, sizes small through 5XL. You can get free shipping. Also, Course Careers, I've personally partnered with. I wouldn't partner with anyone else other than a legit company where you guys could start a high-paying, fully remote career. You guys could start their free introduction courses and then eventually move on to like a paid $50 off discount using my link below. There's so many different career paths, and I really, really hope you guys check that out. But I appreciate you. Hit like and subscribe, and go Bills.